Well, boys, we are officially less than 3 weeks away from Beyond Light releasing, and I figured it was time to go ahead and put together my ultimate Beyond Light prep guide. In this video, you will learn everything, and I mean absolutely everything, when it comes to prepping for Beyond Light. That's right, boys, Papa MyFi is back, and with me, I bring the best Beyond Light prep guide on YouTube. I guarantee you will walk away from this video knowing absolutely everything you need to do in order to be as ready as possible for November 10th. But you know the drill. If you're new, and only if you enjoy the videos, then feel free to subscribe. Trust me, you're not going to miss any of my videos in Beyond Light. Also, twitch.tv/myfi with an underscore at the end is where I stream, and from now until Beyond Light, I will be doing raid help and exotic help along with prep help. So if any of those sound interesting, then come on over. Okay, plugs done. Let's get you prepared for Beyond Light. Timestamps will be in the description for certain parts in case you want to skip to a specific section, or if you end up coming back to this video because you need to like refreshen up on information. But I highly recommend you watch the video in its entirety first. Also linked in the description is going to be a website that will tell you how ready you are for Beyond Light. So when I'm talking about bounties, resources, materials, etc., that website will lay everything out for you in a very simple and easy to understand format. Like, for real, this website is pretty baller in my opinion. It will also give you an overall score of how ready you are for Beyond Light. So first thing is going to be bounties. Bounty prep, or saving bounties, has been something that us D2 players have done before just about every expansion, and for Beyond Light, that is no different. The reason we bounty prep is to get a massive XP boost on day one as soon as the new expansion releases. You do this by getting a bunch of bounties completed, but you hold off on redeeming them until Beyond Light releases. As long as the bounty is complete, then it will not expire. Now, not every bounty is worth the same, and if you're using a bounty slot to carry that bounty, then it better be worth it. The bounties that give you the most XP are weekly bounties, but there are certain ones you should do. Vanguard weekly bounties, Crucible weekly bounties, Gunsmith weekly bounties, Eris weekly bounties, Trials weekly bounties if you can stand to play Trials, and Iron Banner bounties, assuming we have another Iron Banner before the end of the season. All these bounties will give 12,000 XP when redeemed. Now, you can also save Gambit weeklies, but when the new season drops, you are not going to want to redeem those bounties to achieve a Gambit rank up. You know how you can redeem Gambit bounties and they'll add towards your Gambit rank, and then whenever you get a rank up, yeah, you don't want to do that because Bungie made a change a while back that made it to where Gambit weekly bounties completed in a prior season will no longer award a powerful on rank up. Once you've stockpiled up enough weeklies over the course of multiple weeks, you should then turn your attention to daily bounties from all the vendors I just mentioned. And finally, don't forget that your bounties and quests have a shared inventory pool of 63 slots. So the less quests you have active, the more bounties you can hold. All in all, I would say your goal is to have around a minimum of 500,000 XP saved from bounties. Now, the next thing we are going to be discussing is resources. First up will be Vanguard and Crucible tokens. You're going to want to stockpile these up due to the fact that we will finally be getting a vendor refresh in Beyond Light, something we haven't seen in a few years. Also, if you're wanting to min-max when the season drops, and having an abundance of tokens will help you out a ton. The best way to get a ton of tokens is by buying and using boons. Vanguard boons can be acquired via Zavala for 10 legendary shards per boon, and Crucible boons can be acquired from Shaxx for 25 legendary shards per boon. Each boon has a 50-50 chance to award either 3 tokens, Crucible tokens from Crucible boons and Vanguard tokens from Vanguard boons, or a legendary reward after each strike or Crucible match has been completed. In my opinion, the Vanguard boons are worth buying, but the Crucible boons are not worth buying, as your legendary shards are better off being used elsewhere. You should aim for around 1,000 of both Crucible and Vanguard tokens. For legendary shards, well, there isn't really a specific way to farm them other than just by playing the game or dismantling old legendaries you have collecting dust in your vault, like ones that are getting sunset and you just never use, or just weapons you never use in general. You should aim to have a minimum of around 2,000 legendary shards. Next is going to be upgrade modules, and for this, well, Banshee sells them for a variety of resources and materials, and they can be purchased at pretty much any time of the day, so stockpiling them isn't too essential, as well, you can pretty much get them anytime you need them. Now for Ascendant Shards, and well, there's only one way to really farm them, and that would be to farm Ordeal Nightfalls on Grandmaster. The best Ordeal Grandmaster to farm this season is Lake of Shadows, as each run with the right strat and team should only take you around 10 minutes. We should see Lake of Shadows return as the Ordeal Nightfall at least one more time before the end of the season, and fingers crossed they also enable double loot, because if so, that will be your best way to max out on Ascendant Shards, because, well, if you don't know, Grandmaster Ordeal Nightfalls have a guaranteed drop of at least one Ascendant Shard, and then if it's double loot, then it's 2. So yeah, you can hold a max of 10 Ascendant Shards in your shared inventory space, plus 10 in each character's Postmaster, equaling 40 total. Just be careful if you have some in your Postmaster, because if you collect too much stuff in your Postmaster, then you could have the Ascendant Shards pushed out, and nothing is more depressing than losing 10 Ascendant Shards because you weren't paying attention to your Postmaster. If you end up getting max Ascendant Shards and you still want to keep farming them, then start masterworking trash exotics that you pull from your collections. It will take 3 Ascendant Shards to masterwork a piece of exotic armor, but then in Beyond Light, when you start to run low, you can just pull that masterworked exotic from your vault and dismantle it to get 1 Ascendant Shard back, plus some other materials. All in all, I would say to aim to have around 20 Ascendant Shards. For Enhancement Prisms, well, they are in the same boat when it comes to farming as Ascendant Shards. The best way to farm them is Nightfall Ordeals. You should be shooting to have around 50 Enhancement Prisms. You can hold 50 in your shared character inventory and 50 in each character's Postmaster, totaling to 200. But just like Ascendant Shards, you should be careful with holding them in your Postmaster because they can be easily pushed out if you're not paying attention. Now for Enhancement Cores, and you're going to want these for upgrading your gear in Beyond Light. There isn't really a direct way to get Enhancement Cores like farming an activity or doing bounties, but there are ways nonetheless. The first way to farm them is by consuming Finest Matter Weave, which, if you're anything like my friends and I, you should have tons of. Going to the Leviathan with a sniper and sitting at the very beginning of the Leviathan where you spawn in and killing the yellow health bar ads that don't attack you unless you shoot them first. For each one you kill with a Finest Matter Weave active, you have a chance for an Enhancement Core to drop. Once one does drop, then pop another and repeat until you've used all of your Finest Matter Weave. Another option is to go to Eva Levante and purchase a mask. So yes, this only works while Festival of the Lost is here. From there, upgrade the mask from a 6 energy to an 8 energy. This will cost you 5,500 Glimmer, 7 Legendary Shards, 2 Enhancement Cores, and 1 Enhancement Prism. Then you dismantle the mask and it will award you 6 Enhancement Cores. So in the long run, you use 2 Enhancement Cores and some other materials, but you get 6 Enhancement Cores back. You should try to stockpile around 200 Enhancement Cores before Beyond Light. And finally, for resources is Gunsmith Mats. And this one is also pretty straightforward. There isn't really a specific way to farm them other than just playing the game and cleaning out your vault of old weapons that will be sunset and you don't use, or you just never use in general. You should aim to have around 1,500 to 2,000 Gunsmith Mats going into Beyond Light. Now let's talk about Planetary Materials. Having a large stockpile of Planetary Materials is going to be a must, as you're not going to want to be in a situation where you are grinding out levels and activities and then you have to stop to go get a specific material you need for an upgrade. Also, if you want to min-max, you're going to want to have a lot of Planetary Materials. Each Planetary Material can be purchased from Spider, and the materials he is selling and what he's charging for said materials rotate daily. He only accepts 2 forms of payment, 5k Glimmer for 5 of that material, or 1 Legendary Shard for 5 of that material. You should never, ever, ever buy the materials from him that are being sold for 5k Glimmer. Waste of your Glimmer right there. Instead, you should wait until he is selling that material for 1 Legendary Shard. You should try to get at least 1,000 of each material, the more the merrier. This also includes the materials from the planets getting vaulted, as there will more than likely almost 100% be some form of an exchange rate coming in Beyond Light, so that you can take those materials and exchange them for something else. Like I said, 1,000 of each planetary material. Now on to Glimmer. For Glimmer, you should have the max amount your character can carry, that being 250,000. Then once you hit cap, you should start buying the exotic Sparrow Other Side or the exotic ship Zavala's Authority from your collections. There is some other ones you can buy as well, but those 2 are just the most popular and the ones that most people will have. Once you reach your cap on Glimmer, you should start buying the 2 exotics I just mentioned above and storing them in your vault. Then when Beyond Light is here and you start running low on Glimmer, because trust me, you will, you can take them out of your vault and dismantle them. Dismantling them will immediately award 5,000 Glimmer. This is going to be a way to ensure you are never running out of Glimmer, as those stored exotics are acting as backup Glimmer. You should aim for having 250,000 Glimmer on your character and another 250,000 Glimmer stored in your vault in the form of the exotics I just mentioned. mentioned, totaling to 500,000 Glimmer. Now let's talk about loot you should get before Beyond Light launches. First up is going to be exotics. Izanagi's Burden, Legend of Acreus, Anarchy, Whisper of the Worm, and Outbreak Perfected. I'm going to link in the description a TWAB from Bungie that goes over everything getting vaulted when Beyond Light drops. That TWAB will tell you every exotic quest / activity linked to an exotic leaving. So if you want to get more than just the exotics I mentioned, then that's the place to go to see if you can still get them in Beyond Light. Also, I wanted to go ahead and mention you should also go after the catalyst linked to the exotics above. Now, if you are having trouble getting Anarchy, Legend of Acreus, Whisper, or Outbreak, well, like I mentioned earlier, I do exotic and raid help over on twitch.tv/myfi with an underscore at the end almost every day. So if you need help, then come on over. I have helped tons, literally tons of people get Anarchy, Outbreak, Whisper. If you can name it, I've helped them get it. Now for God roll weapons you should get. Well, I have a playlist of videos I've been making over the past month and that I am still continuing to make that tells you everything you need to go after. I have some upcoming videos like God roll special weapons you should go after and God roll heavy weapons you should go after. Link to the playlist can be found in the description, and as I make those new videos of weapons you should be getting, they will be added to that playlist. Also linked in the description will be a spreadsheet from Anti-Solar Flare that tells you weapons and rolls you should get before Beyond Light. Just in case, watching videos isn't really your thing, then there's a spreadsheet you can look at. But I still recommend watching the videos in that playlist as I name out, multiple different rolls and stuff like that to cater towards certain play styles. Now, the last thing to get you prepped is going to be to stock up on some energy. And, well, you can do that by getting yourself some GFUEL. Starting today, code myfi will get you 30% off your entire purchase. Okay, this one's a joke, but not really. Okay, code myfi. And there we go. Hopefully by now you have all the knowledge and know-how you need to get ready for Beyond Light. Also, if you need help or advice on anything Destiny 2 related, I'm talking before Beyond Light, after Beyond Light, literally anything Destiny 2 related, then I highly recommend joining my Discord. We have a community of over 3,000 people there that love to play and talk Destiny 2 on all platforms, and we're growing by the day. Linked to that is on screen and in the description. It's literally just discord.gg/myfi, and just join the Discord, okay? You won't regret it. But now I need something from you. Yes, you. I need you to let me know in the comment section what your prep score, the one found on the website that I mentioned earlier, is. Mine is currently sitting at about 286, and it's saying that I'm almost ready for Beyond Light. And I'm curious if your score is above or below mine. I just want to see, where I'm sitting in terms of where you all are sitting. And I mean, if you're not prepping, well, then it's probably 0. So yeah, also if you're not prepping, let me know, because I'm honestly always curious about if someone's prepping or not. With all that being said, if you enjoyed the video, then feel free to slap a like on it, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.